Please share, like, and follow this page so that more and more useful information can continue to be made available to the public. Nobody should have to die trying to make a living. Let's talk briefly about natural disasters and how to control them. First of all, we have many problems in Nigeria. We have enough problems that we have created for ourselves. So because of these many problems, we need to avoid those that are avoidable. One of the reasons why I'm saying this is this new thing where you see people floating on top of water whenever it rains heavily. First, it must be noted that year in, year out, government structures are aware of the fact that when heavy rains fall, there will be flooding. How? Because number one, they know the amount of rainfall. It can be predicted. They can calculate it ahead of time. Number two, a lot of people already know that they have mistakenly built their houses or they have rented houses along a floodplain. So with these two sources of knowledge with us, it is very easy for us to manage and prevent these things. But have we? No. Instead, there has been a third problem, which is that people throw their waste along drainages. You drink water, you throw the plastic into a gutter, and you walk away. You done. The single-use plastic, all these disposable cups, all these things people buy food from along the road, we just finish using them, we dump them into the floodplain. Because of this, whenever it rains, you see the rain is practically sweeping the city. So you see all manner of plastic being carried along with the rain, and then they block at the far end, they block, these drainages. So having identified these problems, how can we solve them? The one side is that of the government. Government needs to have clear-cut regulations, and there needs to be a clear intention to deliberately enforce these legislations. Because if we do not have that, anything short of deliberate enforcement, people will continue to do the wrong things. So we need to deliberately enforce legislations regarding this, because every year NEMA has a budget for going to flooded victims who have been evicted from their houses to give relief materials and the rest. So let us save ourselves all of these needless expenditures and ensure that, since we have now identified these floodplains, the corners, the drainages where flood happens, ensure that people who live along these routes are relocated to places where they can have as permanent residences. That's one. Then two, the city plans for where they exist should be remodeled to ensure that areas prone to flooding have been clearly identified and people are resettled with this awareness in mind. This is very, very important. On the part of government too, we used to hear of the opening of Lagdo Dam and whatever other dam that is being opened that brings flood water into Nigeria. Government should also more effectively liaise with these people to see that this water is constantly released in smaller quantities where it can now gradually flow out. And please, government agencies, when somebody comes and wants to build a house along a floodplain, kindly do not give approval. Do not, for the sake of
I don't want peace, I want problems always.
Brown envelope or white envelope or whatever the color of the envelope.
He shock you.
Do not put those people at risk. We can avoid this. And where we are short of drainages, government, please come to our aid. Build more drainages so that as more flood water can be easily channeled away from these areas, we can have some respite. It's very important that we save ourselves the trouble of always having to, be flooded every year. I've seen so many terrible situations in the last couple of months, and these are all preventable issues. It is not nice that society should have to go through these preventable issues even when all of us are here and we know what happens year in, year out. We cannot continue to do the same things and expect different results. Please, let us show that we are enlightened by changing the way we do things so that things can change. Please share, like, and follow this page.